Hello student. So in this lecture, today's lecture is a continuation to our last lecture, that is the approach to study the animal behavior. In our last lecture, we have already dealt with the like what are the approaches that lead to the animal study and study of animal behavior. So we'll just quickly revise. That is, first is the comparative physiological approaches, then psychological approach. Sorry, first is a comparative psychological approaches, then physiological approach, and behavioral and ethological approach. Yeah, so comparative psychological approach will include the like understanding the behavior on, and finding the causes on the control mechanism. Yeah, so and next is the physiological approach will include the will include your nervous system, your physiology, like nervous system nervous system is genetic. So how the nervous system will involve in a behavioral behavior of particular animal, and how the genetic hereditary behavior and all. Okay. Further we have studied. Now we will deal about the ethological approach. The ethological approach is the study scientific study of animal behavior, which will focus on a behavior under neutral condition, under natural condition, and this will be include and this study will include and study will carried out on the basis of their evolutionary point of view or the evolutionary adaptive traits. Okay, so the ethology deals with the two type of casual behavior. That is, one that deals with the motivational mechanism and the experiences of the animals as a causing to behavior, that is approximate explanations, and one that deals with the selection pressures and phylogenetic factors that causes the evolution of that particular behavior in a animal, that is called as an ultimate explanation. Okay, so ethology will deal with the ethological approach will deal with the two behavior, that is proximate behavior and ultimate behavior. The proximate will include or deal with the motivational mechanism and the experience of the animal as it causes that particular behavior, and other one will deal with the selection of a pressure plus phylogenetic factors that causes the evolution of that particular behavior. Okay, the ethological behavior is a there is other definition for this, which is the systematic study of the function and the evolution of the behavior is called as a ethology. Okay, and this branch of biology is now it is a branch of a biology, which one is it works, or it will be having a principles, that is behavioral traits will include behavioral traits like anatomical and physiological traits, and the study from the evolutionary point of view. Okay, and for example, it will also include the aptitude behavior and the consumptory behavior. That is what I first said, that this ethology will consist of two type of casual explanation of behavior, that is First is proximate explanation and ultimate. Similarly, it will be having a aptitude behavior and consumptory behavior. That is, in consumptory, this is the first category that will include the variable action of an animal, such as its searching behavior to find a food, then a nest site of a mating to find a mate, and this type of behavior is said to be an aptitude behavior. Whereas the second category will include stereotype opening actions. Okay, stereotype actions means stereotype action that are repeated without variation, such as the act of mating of, then killing of a prey. Okay, these are the consumptory behavior. Okay. So, this ethological approach will be include broad subject, and it includes a different studies. That is, first is the animal, how the animals communicate with each other. Okay, so this is the one type of study of these are the list of the ethological under the ethological approaches different studies has been carried out. First is the animal communication with each other, how the animal communicate with each other. For example, during the mating time, I have sent you many videos. In that you have seen that the call, singing, the males sing on pheromones, the urination and all, that will be the signals that how they communicates with each other. Okay, then how the animal compete and cooperate during the feeding and mating time. Okay, basically in a social animals. Okay, then animal forage and defend themselves when attacked. For example, in a socialite animals like group of a mirkit, the each and every member will be allotted with some type like some work. Okay, so one or two member will look out for the food. Okay, the other two members will see after the young one. Some will be looking out for the against the predators and all. So this is how they communicate with each other, how they maintain the balance, how the work distribution among the group is taken place. All this can be studied under the ethological approach. Okay, then brain anatomy affects animal behavior. There has been different modification have been taken place, or evolution or variation of a brain development has been seen from the from the lower animal to the higher animal. So how the brain anatomy or the this development of a brain affects the animal behavior. Okay, then animal learns and remember. Okay, how the animal learns and remember, like for example, there has been the environment keeps on changing, so the animal tend to adapt some behavior in order to survive in that changing environment. Okay, so how this animal learn that particular behavior in order to survive, and it is remembered from one generation to another. Okay, so this is the trait. Then genes affect behavior. Okay, then another example is that animals differs in their personality and the social structures. The animals which are found in an individually will act differently when it enters to a particular group, or it is welcome to a particular group. It will behave differently. So how this personality keeps on changing. Okay, then animals pair and reproduce. This is also an these are the different studies which have been carried out under the ethological approaches. So this is about how the different, or what are the different structural, what are the different studies are carried out, or what are the different ethological approaches that has been carried out under ethology. Okay, So this ethology is very important because it helps in understanding the animal behavior which are living in a parks, in a animal husbandry. Then when we are using some animals for research work, for example scientific research and all, okay, then understanding the animal behavior is also essential because to understand the interaction between the living and non-living things, or between the interaction between the living animals also, okay. The use of domestic animals when in order to hunting and fishing, in medical science, uh, when we are training any animal, so and also for the veterinaries and for animal conservation also, the study of the animal behavior is very important. And this under the ethological approach, there has been this ethological approach is also used to study the human behavior, okay. And the application of such knowledge will provide the natural scientific perspectives and understanding of human behavior. And on the other hand, it will help us to understand the human behavior also, okay. So this is about the ethological approach. The next part what we are going to study in today's lecture is innate releasing mechanism. So what is innate releasing mechanism? The term innate releasing mechanism belongs to a classic concept of ethology. It is a part of ethology which refers to a neural sensory motor interface that mediates between a key stimulus and an adequate action pattern. That means it is a combined um, it is a part of a neural nervous system which will be include a various stimulus which will act on various reflection like and there will be various stimulus will be coming in order to like for example, wait, I will explain you. That is, for example, the sign stimulus. The stimulus may be sound, color, appropriate structure, or order, or movement. Okay, this will release a predictable response when it comes in a contact with that neural sensory motor. Okay, so the strict correlation between the stimulus and the appropriate response will that include the nervous system. All this response will originate in a nervous system into discrete centers that will capable of filtering the sensory input, okay, and then selecting the releaser stimuli or releasing an appropriate motor response. This is termed as an innate releasing mechanism. That is, some stimulus, the environmental stimulus, will trigger a response in a nervous system. That center in the nervous system will be having a sensory input, and a particular stimulus, the environmental stimulus, will act on one sensory input, and that stimulus will release an appropriate motor response to that particular stimulus. The set of that sensory input in the nervous center of our brain will refer to as the innate releasing mechanism, okay. So this innate releasing mechanism thus has stimulus recognition plus localization properties, okay. That is, first is the input side and the another is the output side. The input side will be having stimulus recognition and localization property, whereas output side will be having a behavior releasing properties, okay. The innate releasing mechanism allows an animal to recognize and respond to a behaviorally relevant object that the animal had never encountered before, okay. The term innate is means The term innate means it is basically present or existing within a time. Okay, and here what happened, there has been stimulus that comes from the environment and it triggers that existing behavior. Okay, and that behavior then is the output. Okay, or releasing property. Okay, the first time Lawrence in 1950 coined the term innate releasing mechanism. Okay, uh, the example of innate releasing mechanism is uh, when a dog sees a cat running away from them. Okay, they instinctive response to chase that cat, and this will happen with car or bike also. Whenever if bike or car is in the speed like that, a dog will chase that particular vehicle. No, if the vehicle is slow or within a limit, slowly moving, then it will that dog will ignore it. Yeah, similarly when a cat is running away from the dog, okay, and it sees him, he will chase the cat. Okay, if the cat is still, the innate releasing mechanism is not activated. Okay, however it is the cat running that activates its innate releasing mechanism, and consequently the dog chasing the cat is an example of the fixed action pattern which is activated by an innate releasing mechanism of a dog. Okay, so this is about the ethological approach of under the study of approaches to study animal behavior, and another part that we have done completed is the innate releasing mechanism. If you have any question regarding this topic, then please let me know. Okay, student, thank you.